I've just gotten home from a rather vigorous frisbee session with a friend, so you'll have to excuse me looking particularly trash. But for today's video, I just wanted to discuss the Esports Awards a bit because I think it's probably, I don't know, maybe almost 2 weeks ago now. I received a couple of nominations, myself and Esports Insider. Obviously, I'm the editor of Esports Insider. So I was nominated for Journalist of the Year, one of 8 finalists, and Esports Insider was nominated as Coverage Website of the Year, one of the 8 finalists, I believe, there also. So first time nominations for both myself and ESI, and I just want to establish really quickly that I've never been an awards guy. So I won UK Esports Awards Reporter of the Year last year, and you can ask the people who were there with me on the table at the award show. I was actually hoping to not. I was verbally hoping to not win it. I've never been an awards guy. Especially over the past few years, really get my sense of satisfaction and achievement internally. So knowing that I'm doing a good job is more than enough for me. Though obviously, it is nice to be recognised by other people. Though I do think there are some inherent flaws with award shows, especially the ones we've got in esports. But I think it's unanimous really across the board, no matter the industry. There's some politics there and inherently some bias and elements of like a popularity contest as well. But not meaning to sound ungrateful, I just thought I'd make my stance, very, very clear on the awards before I discuss it a bit. Now, I'm not here to toot my own horn by any means. As I say, I'm secure in what I do and I can recognise when I've done a good job. But I just wanted to kind of, I guess, give my reaction on the 2 nominations and explain why I kind of think they're cool. If nothing else, as I say, I don't wake up every day like buzzing because of their finalist nominations by any means, but there are some elements that I think are cool that I think have been missed, and whether or not they need context, who knows? You may be interested in it, you may not be, but it'll be a quite short video really. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go into. So I want to say straight up, like the journalists of the year, most of them I agree with for sure. Like Jacob's done a great job. Richard's produced plenty of good articles and stuff, like great articles, I should say. I don't mean to talk down on them by any means. So it's very much tough competition. I'm not expecting to emerge victorious in either of them by any means, I'm realistic, especially when there's a public vote involved. So one of the interesting elements I think to this is I've got the smallest following by far out of any of the finalists for the Journalist Award, and I think maybe 25% of these finalist nominations comes from the public vote and 75% is panel based. It may be 50-50, but I think it's 25-75. So the fact that there's a community aspect there and I still get there means, even though I don't have a huge quantity of followers, I have a really good quality of followers, which is something I've been quite aware of now for probably the past year and a half. It's not just esports fans, but it's people who work in the industry who are, who recognise what the hell's going on and understand really what goes into what we do. So really interesting thing there. I think maybe the person with the second least amount of followers under me on Twitter in the journalist category probably has 15 to 20 times what I have. So considering, as I say, a public vote involved in that, I think that's quite significant. And also something else which kind of separates me from the pack, in definitely a negative way, I'd say, is that I'm the only editor there. Now, there's nothing wrong with being an editor of a publication, to get me wrong. I just mean that when you become an editor, your job is to let other people shine and to help other people, really. And I'm working on that. I'm still adjusting to being a good editor, don't get me wrong. But it means you don't have enough time to really be a journalist yourself, to be a reporter yourself. Besides picking up news pieces and occasional interviews and podcasts and such, it's hard for me to legislate the time to really dig into a story when there are pieces I need to be editing and people I need to be replying to and such and so forth. So I'm 99% sure I'm the only editor on there as well. I could pull up the list quickly just to make sure, but yeah. Well, no, I know it for a fact. So I just don't want to speak out of turn, and I'm tired, as I say. Well, it's 8 p.m. here at the time of recording, and I've just been playing rigorous frisbee, getting my steps in for the day. But so smallest following by far, only editor nominated, and also I'm the only strictly esports business journalist nominated as well. Jacob, Richard and such obviously do business reporting. I think Jacob's the best in the industry at business reporting by quite a big amount, to be honest with you. I think I could have rivaled him if I stuck with being a journalist instead of joining ESI full time as an editor. But that's a decision I made, and I'm over regretting it now. To be honest with you, it's like stepping back from being the main player rather to enable something greater than yourself to succeed. So they're 3 points that I think are really cool about the Journalist of the Year nomination. So thank you to everybody who was involved, both on the panel. I don't actually know who's on the panel. I haven't looked in a long time. Can't remember for the life of me. And obviously for those at home and in the office and such, wherever you may be, hopefully you're at home with COVID and such, for putting my name forward out of anyone you could nominate. That genuinely, as I say, not an awards guy, but like that means a lot. That's you going out of your way and literally selecting me out of anybody in the industry for the award. So, very appreciative there. And a couple of notes on the ESI nomination. So it is actually the first nomination or finalist status for Esports Insider at the Esports Awards. So to be there, after not being there last year, I think I was maybe the editor for 1 or 2 months before the wave of nominations were announced last year. So really getting my feet under the table, trying to work things out. And I'm still acclimatizing, but I've improved a lot in that time. But nonetheless, it's the first nomination. So in my first year of being the editor, we got there. And I'm not saying it's down to me by any means. Our following has grown. We've brought on more people. I just think in general we're doing better work. And I am kind of in control of the work we do in a sense. So again, like I found kind of satisfaction in that anyway, knowing our like performance behind the scenes and looking at the followings and traffic and such. I know we're doing better than what we were. I know we're growing, and I know we're growing not only in terms of those metrics, but in terms of the work we produce as well. There's still so much more we could do, don't get me wrong. Like I think we're at maybe 20% of our capacity in terms of the content we could produce, if that, maybe 10-15%. But with what we've got, it's a proud moment for the company as a whole, I would say, to be nominated for Coverage Website of the Year. And the only thing, again, this may sound like slight, but I assure you it's not. I actually tweeted about this recently. I'll go on Twitter after this and see I've caused some shit, no doubt, but that's not my aim whatsoever. Esports Insider is the only strictly business publication to be a finalist for Coverage Website of the Year. Of course, there is the Esports Observer on there. Great set of guys, don't get me wrong. I'm really admire a lot of them. Like, do some really good work, a lot of them there. But they do also cover more casual game stuff. Like, they did a lot of TikTok-related things where, like, yes, an organisation may be on TikTok, but it's not relating to them whatsoever, realistically. So they also do the more casual stuff. And if I was to throw my hat in the ring as to say why, it's because I'm a massive esports purist to a fault. Like, I don't care about games at all. I care about esports. That's just how I've been for the past couple of years, really. Whereas I imagine James Forge and Chris and such over at TO are more into the games and game side of things as well, more than I am at least, and can kind of see how things slot in and how can be relevant to an esports audience, even if it's not esports focus. Whereas I want to make sure we're esports focus, which is a niche of business within a niche of esports, within a niche of gaming. It's tough, but we're sticking the path. We are growing, so we're the only strictly business publication there. I'd say Esports Observer is 90% business. Don't get me wrong, or esports business, I should say, but we're 100%. So that's an element of pride for me, knowing that even though we stuck to our guns, we didn't let anyone tell us, no, you have to do more gaming related stuff to get more traffic, which I think is the case at some publications. We've stuck it out, though the growth is slower than some publications, of course. We've received the nomination and then respect from our peers and even out some of our competitors, perhaps. I doubt it, but you never know. I can be optimistic and perhaps to a fault at times. But yeah, they're my thoughts on the Esports Awards. Again, I'm not expecting to win. I hope the best people win, and I don't think I'm the best journalist, and I don't think we've done the best work as a publication overall, but we are improving, So best of luck to everybody involved. It's genuinely an honour to be alongside you all, especially on the journalist side. Like, being alongside Richard and Jacob and stuff, that's insane to me, because by all accounts, by all kind of metrics for me at least, they are the best we've got. Especially Richard, best journalist we've ever had, and Jacob, I can see him being best for years. If he chooses he wants to do that for years, then I can see him succeeding for as long as he wants to go for. And on the publication side, the coverage website nomination, we'll be there again next year. And maybe we can put up a really good fight then. Though, of course, I would love a top 3 kind of finish here. I have no expectations going into it. Thank you again for everybody who not only nominated myself and Esports Insider at the Esports Awards for 2020, but also have been tuning into my videos for the past couple of days. The viewership's been better than what I expect. I genuinely expected 5, 10 views as I really get back into things and find my feet, find my footing, and really get comfortable kind of winging it on a camera, you know. Even though I've done the podcasts before, they're more conversational. They're not like just myself and a camera. So I will get there. Stay tuned for more videos of this kind of nature, I guess, especially on the business and performance side of esports, if that's what you're into. Have a good day. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and no doubt I'll catch you soon. Cheers.